As usual, Lian Li is always on top of their game, trying to make things even fancier than before. This is Lancool 207 Digital. You know this case already. This is an excellent case for a bargain price. It's an excellent performance under $100, which puts more expensive cases to shame, thanks to its strategically positioned places for components inside. But this one is now digital. Wow, what does that even mean? Well, they added a 6-inch screen, LCD screen in the front, in otherwise empty chin on the front bottom, and now this case is complete, while still remaining fairly inexpensive. So let's see what's the deal here. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. Starting with the dimensions, the case is 455.6mm deep, 219 wide and 456mm tall. It has a separated bottom and top chambers, much like all Lancool cases. So the bottom part is of course mesh, which only means one thing: more fresh air goes inside of the case. The removal of the front panel requires zero force, just pull from the top and it will detach from the case, since it uses magnets up top and it uses two latches or lips at the bottom to keep it in place. The panel has a perforated mesh design without the need for additional filters, since it is dense enough to block dust and act as a dust filter at the same time, and allows for air to pass through. There is a conveniently placed PSU dust filter. It's removable from the front as well. It's not a full-size dust filter, just enough for the PSU area, which you know that is here in the front. The two front 140mm and 30mm thick fans are specially designed to provide excellent cooling for the CPU. Moreover, the compact case design helps maintain optimal air pressure inside the system, preventing potential pressure leaks. It's courtesy of the angled front mask and further enhancing the overall cooling efficiency for the CPU. They operate from 450 up to 1900 RPM and RPWM controlled, 109.3 CFM of airflow and 3.3mm H2 of static pressure, and they are up to 35 decibels loud. And they are non-RGB, these are regular fans. Regarding the fan support here in the front, it is obvious, up to 140mm in size, and due to the design of the case, there is no support for 120mm fans nor radiators at all here in the front. The side panel is also easily removable. It's a classic pack system used for securing it in place. The bottom mesh piece can also be removed with two thumb screws at the back. This obviously reveals the PSU location that you already know, that is moved to the front of the case and it sits sideways, pulling air from the bottom of the case or top in case you use Lian Li Edge PSU like I used it here. By relocating the PSU to the front of the case, there is now a free space below the motherboard area to create a compartment able to accommodate two pre-installed 120mm fans with a recessed look. I mean, they are invisible from the front. These fans are strategically positioned below the GPU to ensure direct airflow to the GPU. Moreover, with the PSU now situated at the front, the two bottom fans can draw an unrestricted supply of fresh air, resulting in optimal GPU cooling. Each fan boasts an 11-blade design that emphasizes airflow efficiency. They are PWM controlled, speed ranges from 500 up to 1950 RPM. They have 71.1 CFM airflow and 1.99mm H2 of static pressure, and they are silent, of course, maxing out at only 31 decibels and of course non-RGB. Other than that, the reinvented layout, which is the slogan of this case by the way, also means one other thing, and it is great by the way. You can see that the motherboard tray is recessed. I mean, it's going towards the back of the case. So basically there is just a little space behind the motherboard tray, and you can notice this by looking at the cable holes that are present everywhere for all the possible cables routes, and it even has this rubber grommet for 24-pin cable in case you need the bigger arch for it. For example, if you're using cable extensions or if you're using Lian Li streamer cables. The motherboard support is up to ATX, max width up to 244mm, regular size, so no worries there, and of course micro ATX and ITX boards can also fit here. There is no back connect feature here, I mean for the new motherboards that utilizes connectors on the back side, since the case has that recessed motherboard tray. This position also allows for the GPU cable to have its dedicated hole in the front, and it is a big enough hole to accept Lian Li streamer cables as well. There is also one more thing hidden here inside the case, and it's this clever GPU anti-sag bracket, which can be positioned, of course, up or down, left or right, but can be also moved across any of the three rails to accommodate for various GPU sizes. Speaking of, 375mm max for the GPU length and up to 180mm for the CPU heatsink in case you go with the air cooling here. In case you go with the AIO instead, like I did here, you are looking at maximum support for 360mm radiators up top, and yes, you can also fit the Lian Li HydroShift 360 since it needs 140mm space for the fans, so yeah, in theory you can use two 140mm fans up top or three 140mm fans also up top. The top panel is also that mesh cover only, it's held in place by pegs, just lift the lip up back and it goes off completely. At the rear side, you're looking at only 120mm fan size support, and you can move it slightly up or down if needed, but just beware in case you're using thicker radiators, since maximum combined thickness of fans and radiator is limited up to 70mm, so if you want rear fan here as well. Large holes for ventilation are also present here at the back side. PCI brackets don't have bars between them, so naturally using GPUs in vertical position is also possible, and the case supports Lian Li's own risers, and they are also used, I think, in the O11D cases. Another new thing here you can spot in the back is the power cable socket for the PSU. It's a power extension that goes to the PSU in the front. Alright, moving to the back side, the panel is also held by pegs in place, and it has that perforated bottom piece, so the bottom fans that goes below the GPU can breathe even more fresh air to the GPU. It's an awesome airflow indeed. In the bottom area there are also two hard drive caddies, which can each support either one 2.5 or one 3.5 inch drive. Cable management in this particular case is so darn easy, since PSU is exiting exactly where all the cables need to be routed, so I had no issues here even with 8-pin EPS cables. Actually they need more length, but they have these nice holders up top to hold them in place. And even though the motherboard tray is recessed, there is still about approximately 1 cm of space left for some smaller cables to be hidden here. The accessory box is full with goodies, even with a thick foam pad for the GPU anti-sag bracket in case you need to use it. The very bottom of the case has no secret things to show, it's just a PSU dust cover and 4 rubberized legs to prevent the case from sliding all over the desk. You can also see that you can remove the hard drive caddies from the bottom of the case, but doing so doesn't benefit the case for airflow or anything as a matter of fact, but you can just leave them there. Top of the case has a simple I/O panel, which includes one USB-C port, microphone and headphone combo jack, a power button and 2 USB 3.2 ports. It's the usual stuff. For the build here I used Ryzen 7 7800X3D and RTX 4070 Ti Super. Ambient temperature is around 25 degrees. CPU is idling at 40 degrees. After an hour or so, GPU is idling at 27 degrees, which we have those two bottom fans to thank for. While gaming, CPU was in the higher 50s and lower 60s, reaching 62 degrees at best, while the GPU never exceeded 53 degrees no matter how much load I gave it. If we stress the CPU with synthetic loads, it will max out at 77 degrees. But let's talk about the obvious, the new 6-inch LCD screen in the front. It is super bright at 500 nits with resolution of 1600 by 720 pixels and refresh rate of 60 Hz. It uses an internal USB 2.0 header of your motherboard, and that is all it needs for power and picture delivery. You do get a PCI bracket and extension cable to connect it at the back of your motherboard in case you don't have any free USB headers inside, on your motherboard. You can use it to display various sensor information such as CPU or GPU temperature, load, network usage, and almost anything that you like, since it supports animations and also customizations. Videos, you name it, it has it all. You can even use it as a secondary screen monitor technically, since you can see the complete Windows desktop here, so you can technically use it to game here and so on if you like to torture yourself gaming on such tiny small screen. Anyhow, it uses Lian Li's L-Connect software for everything that goes around on it. You can use the predefined templates, change background of them, but you can also make your own custom themes, and you can position sensor information wherever and however you like it. You can spend hours and hours here tweaking this, and I honestly hope that Lian Li will add more of these widgets, let's call them that, so you can have even more freedom to create your own design, since this, in this state now, it still needs some polishing and more add-ons. What I like here is that they included 12 predefined templates, and they are honestly great, but somehow I want more. You gave us this, now you open Pandora's box and just keep on coming, Lian Li. Possibly user-created and shared templates would become a thing as well. Okay, so regarding the screen, I have no remarks here. Even the software implementation at launch is good, with enough presets to get you started and hooked on. And I would like to see Lian Li implementing LCD screens in O11 range of cases in the future. Also, this case having no RGB is a welcome thing for a change, plus it is available only in black for now for the price of only $109.99, which is actually not that much. That would be around 30 bucks more over the regular version, and you get this beautiful LCD screen. In the front, it is literally shut up and take my money scenario. But what I don't like about the case remains still the same as before. PSU placement, while being good for a change, still is an annoyance in case you're using a regular PSU, since cables exiting on the back can hit the back panel, which is not the case if you're using Edge PSU. So Lian Li is slowly pulling you in their ecosystem with each component they release. Performance remains top-notch here. I like that that is not sacrificed at all, since they cleverly used otherwise empty space in the front to put that LCD there. It brings this case to another level. So hope you liked the video, guys. Give it a thumbs up, like and share it, and I'll see you in the next one.